Hey everyone, welcome back to Hobbies with Jose. I'm Jose Carbajal, and on today's episode we are building issues 100 and 101 of Eaglemoss's Build the DeLorean. Thanks for joining me again, everyone. Now, if you're wondering, where's part 2 of my first video, customizing Transformers Shatter? Don't worry, that one's absolutely still being worked on, but while I'm getting that video finished, I'm going to show you this other project that I have here, Eaglemoss's Build the DeLorean. Now, I did actually start the build some years ago, so towards the tail end of it, on issues 100 and 101. In fact, I've already built some parts coming up in the future because Eaglemoss had some issues with stocking, so they've sent me some other parts first. But as I'm going through it chronologically now, we're going to start here with issue number 100 and 101, which is overall pretty easy from what I can see. Now, before we get started with issue number 100, I do just want to say that this build has been not without its challenges, but overall very rewarding. I will say that if you're thinking about putting one together yourself, you kind of have to go with some mods because there's some pieces that Eaglemoss put together for it that, for my experience, for me personally, they don't cut it. And the one that I'm going to show you here is going to be probably the main piece of the build, which is going to be the flux capacitor. Now, what I have here is the flux capacitor that Eaglemoss provides, and I did save it because I do like to keep it for comparison's sake. And you'll see it's not bad. There's some screws here on top that of course aren't on the actual flux capacitor, but that's what they use to hold the piece together. The design itself is overall very simplistic, and there's just one LED that hooks up to the back that is supposed to light up the whole thing. It really falls short of it. Let me show you what I mean. Now here I've got it hooked up to a 9-volt battery. And if you can see it, there is a light coming in through the center, but really not much else. So it's very simplistic overall. Now, let me show you the mod that I have in it, thanks to the website Model Mods, which I'll put a link down in the description. And of course, they're not a sponsor of this little site, but they're very good at it. So let me show you that. Now, what you're seeing here are the modified flux capacitor inside, and the Christmas tree next to it as well. That's a modification from Model Mods as well. And you can see how animated they are, just how much better they look, much closer to how the movie is. Yeah, this kit is pretty much incomplete without these two pieces. So again, that link will be in the description below. And here's the interior dashboard of the DeLorean. I wanted to show you another modification that I put into it as well, and that's these 1/8 zip ties. These I got them from Mike Lane's website, whose link I'll have in the description as well. Again, not a paid promotion for the channel, but they're really, in my opinion, essential to have a much better look for the build overall. So with that said, let's get started with issue 100. All right, now these two issues shouldn't be too difficult that we're going to build. Looks like we're just putting in the cabling that's going to go over the front tire and right under the door there. So nothing too complicated for these two. Let's get started here and opening this up. Looks like just one bag of screws this time. Usually there's quite a few more, but again, that speaks to how easy this one's going to be. We've got this hard plastic piece, which already has a curvature laid out, and the softer colored cables. This one looks like it's going to be representing the zip ties that are on the outside. I'm actually not going to use this piece because we have more of Mike Lane's 1/8 scale zip ties that I'm going to use instead of this. So we'll just put this one aside here as well. and of course the metal connection that brings it up to this piece right here. So first thing we're going to do is take that connection, and looks like we plug in this black hard plastic piece right on top. Now I want to double check the orientation, making sure I've got it in the right direction. So looks like the hole that's in the bottom here is going to go towards the front, and this connector goes right up on top. Just like that here. And looks like we're going to connect it right on top of this piece here. Now it has 3 holes on top, and where it's actually going to go are top of the 2 that are in the front, leaving the one that's behind it free. And these blank plastic pieces go right into the body of the vehicle. And in the front, we've got the hole for the screw there. Okay, got that one there. Then we take the other cables, the colored ones, and we're going to connect that onto the other hole that's left. And of course it's a tight connection there. There we go. These tweezers come in handy. Now the instructions don't explicitly state this, but it's pretty much shown in the pictures. We want to go ahead and uncurl the colored cables here so they can just run along straight across the wheel. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we've got 101 here. Let's get this opened up. Definitely some more pieces on this one. Looks like we've got some more colored cables here that are going to go towards the back of the car. This is going to be the tubing that's going to go below the door, and some mesh that we're gonna put around the tubing, some more fake zips that we're not going to use. We're going to put these to the side, and more hard plastic pieces. Going to be the foundation of the cabling here. Screws, little black pieces for the back, more screws, and these little gray rings. Not sure where these are going to go. First, we're going to start with the gray tube, and we're going to put this mesh around it. Now, there's already been some pieces in the build that are in the back that had some parts that you curve over, and those weren't too tough because they weren't as wide as this piece. This one I'm worried might be a little bit trickier, but let's see how we can manage that. And it's going to line up for the screws there underneath. And there's that piece all put together. Not as tough as I thought it was going to be, which is good. Next, we're going to take the two gray rings that we had, and we're going to put them around our rod here. Just want to check on the orientation. And of course, I want to put the screws facing towards the inside so it's not going to be showing on the outside. Okay, and this is going to get attached underneath the vehicle with a couple of KM screws here. Okay, that's where it's going to go. And there's that. Next, we grab piece 101E, and that attaches right to the side of the vehicle here. just like that. And then we grab piece 101F and attach this one right on top here. Looks like we're going to connect these two blank pieces together. Parts 101H and 101I. One's got the grooves and one's just flat. Just like that. And looks like we're going to have it attached right into these two small holes here in the back. And we're using a couple of screws for this. Now I'm actually going to keep these screws loose for now because we're going to be inserting some cables into the holes on top, so having that extra space will help. And so for the next step, looks like we're going to untwist these and get these colored cables all straightened out, and we're going to be inserting them into this section here in the order shown in the instructions. So let's get that going. And for these last few steps, looks like they just want us to cut about 5 millimeters out of the colored cable, so we're going to tuck them right into the tubing here. Same thing on each side. So let's get that done. All right, and that's the build for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. When we pick it up again, it'll be issues 102 and 103, which is going to be the identical setup that we have now, just on the other side of the vehicle, the other side of the cables there. Overall, not too difficult. The only thing was keeping those cables together while I'm getting the zip ties around them, but pretty standard overall. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, like the video, leave a comment below, any questions, anything that you like or dislike about the video. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.